Okay, we're on to conjunctions and connectors, or congiunzioni e connettori. Okay, we are second from the top of our grammar pyramid, so we only have one more module after this. Okay, so this is exciting, and I think you're gonna like this module because it's really short and easy, and it's not too complicated, but it doesn't mean that it's not important. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the conjunctions and connectors, which are basically the words that connect the other parts of the sentences together. So it's like the glue that binds the rest of your sentences, the rest of your clauses together to form longer sentences. Okay, so let's jump in. Conjunctions. What is a conjunction? A conjunction, or una congiunzione, aka connecting, linking, or transition words, connects two or more words, phrases, or clauses. Okay, so the most common connecting words are and, or, but, that, and because. What are the basic conjunctions in Italian? So the basic and most common conjunctions in Italian are e, which means and, okay, which is the same word as is, but it does not have an accent. Okay, so when you see an accent, it means is in the third person singular, but without the accent, it means and. Okay, o or oppure means or. Okay, either one of those is fine. Ma or però means but. Okay, again, you can use either one. Che means that, and perché means because or why. Okay, it means both of them. For example, mi piacciono la pizza e la pasta. I like pizza and pasta. Okay, A. Preferisci vino rosso o vino bianco? Do you prefer red or white wine? Okay, so you can use o or oppure, either one. And lei vuole venire, ma deve lavorare. So she wants to come, but she has to work. Okay, I use ma, but I could also have used però. How to use conjunctions in a sentence. So, in English, we have either a dependent or independent clause, plus a conjunction, plus another dependent or independent clause. Okay, so I am and you are. It basically glues this side of the sentence with this side of the sentence. I am cold, but I have a coat. Okay, so again, it connects or glues this side with this side. He studies or he doesn't learn anything. Okay, so in Italian, we have the exact same thing. So io sono e tu sei. Okay, we use it in the exact same way. Io ho freddo, ma io ho un cappotto. And lui studia oppure lui non impara niente. Okay, you could also have used o in this case. Okay, excellent. So pretty simple, right? Logical connectors. So what is a logical connector? A logical connector, or connettivi logici, are a type of conjunction that link two or more thoughts, ideas, phrases, or clauses in a logical way. They allow you to smoothly transition from one idea to another. Okay, so there's really not a big difference between conjunctions and logical connectors. I separated them because I wanted you to just basically learn the basic conjunctions that we just went over. And those are, just very simple, basic little words that you can use all the time. And logical connectors, there's a whole long list of these connectors that basically you can use to connect, larger sections of a sentence together. So as this says, links two or more thoughts, ideas, phrases, or clauses in a logical way. So they're basically the same thing, but I just kind of separated them so that you could, like I said, memorize the conjunctions first and then move on to the logical connectors. Okay, so how many logical connectors are there? There are many, many, many logical connectors in Italian. So start by memorizing a few and then add more as you progress. Here's a few common ones to start with. Okay, so we have allora, means so or then. Quindi, it means therefore. Comunque, however. Dunque, thus or therefore. Cioè, that is to say. Infatti, in fact or indeed. Così means so. Se means if. Perciò is so or therefore. Altrimenti, otherwise. And then we have poi, then. Anche, also or as well. Neanche, neppure, or nemmeno all mean neither or not even. As you can see, these are basically the same word here, except that they add ne on the front, which negates it. Okay, so it makes it negative. Inoltre, besides. Al contrario, on the contrary. Anche se, even if. Okay, so I just combined anche with se, and in this case, together, it means even if. Siccome, since. Anzi, rather or on the contrary. Insomma, in summary. And invece di, instead of. I just put them together because it's commonly used together, but you can use it on its own as well. Note that conjunctions and logical connectors do not change form, so you can just memorize them. Okay, so like I said, these are logical connectors. So there's a lot more of them, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. And you can add those on to your conjunctions. Okay, these are all basically conjunctions, but it just depends on who you ask what category they actually put them in. Okay. How to use logical connectors in a sentence. So I used an independent clause, and then I used a logical connector to connect it to another independent clause. Okay, so I think could be used on its own, and I am could be used on its own, but you can put therefore in the middle to connect them and make a longer sentence. I'm hungry. However, I'm not ready to eat. Okay, so in Italian, we have io penso, quindi io sono. Okay, I think, therefore I am. Where have we heard that before? Ho fame, comunque non sono pronto per mangiare. Okay, I'm hungry, however, I'm not ready to eat. Okay, so like I said, it just basically glues two sides together. It puts two, in this case, independent clauses together to form one complete thought. Okay, first 5 conjunctions plus 20 connectors to learn. Okay, so I'm going to say them each twice. So repeat after me after I say it each time. Okay, so let's go through the list real quick here. So our basic conjunctions, and these are short, easy little words. Che. Che means that. E. E means and. O or oppure. O or oppure means or. Ma or però. Ma or però means but. Perché. Perché is because or why. Okay, and then on to our logical connectors, which are basically conjunctions, but you know the difference now. Not too much of a difference here. So al contrario. Al contrario. On the contrary. Allora. Allora. So or then. And they use allora in the same way that we use so when we're trying to think of the next word. So, okay, so you'll hear it a lot when people are pausing to think of their next thought. altrimenti, altrimenti, otherwise, anche, anche, also or as well, anche se, even if, anzi, anzi, rather or on the contrary, cioè, cioè, that is to say, comunque, comunque, however, così, così means so, or like when you hear, sometimes you'll hear somebody say così così, like so so, like how are you, come stai, così così. Dunque, dunque, thus or therefore. Infatti, infatti, in fact or indeed. Inoltre, inoltre, besides. Insomma, insomma, in summary. Invece di, or you can say invece, instead of. Neanche, neanche, neither or not even. Perciò, perciò, so or therefore. Poi, poi, then. Quindi, quindi is therefore. Se, se, if. Siccome, siccome is since. Okay, and there you have it. These are a good start to get you started on your connecting words so that you can start to build longer thoughts and longer sentences. Okay, we are on to quiz number 9, module 2.8, conjunctions and connectors. There are only 5 questions, so I'll go ahead and read each question aloud and the possible answers, and I'll pause for a moment to let you try and figure out what the right answer is. But if you need more time, just go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's get started. Number 1, the following words are classified as what part of speech? And, or, but, that, and because. Choose only one best answer. A, conjugations, B, prepositions, or C, conjunctions. Okay, these are all conjunctions. A conjunction connects 2 or more words, phrases, or clauses. The most common connecting words are and, or, but, that, and because. Number 2, which of the following are correct? Choose all answers that apply. Letter A. A means and. B. O or oppure means or. C. Ma or però means but. D. Che means that. And E. Perché means because or why. Okay, so they were all correct except letter A. A means is in the third person singular since it has an accent mark. A means and since it does not have an accent mark. All the rest are correct. Number 3, vero o falso, true or false. Logical connectors, connettivi logici, are a type of conjunction that link 2 or more thoughts, ideas, phrases, or clauses in a logical way. Choose only one best answer. A, vero, or B, falso. Okay, this one was correct. Logical connectors allow you to smoothly transition from one idea to another. Number 4. How would you say, I already ate, however, I'm still hungry, so I'll make a coffee instead of eating more? Choose only one best answer. Okay, so letter A. Ho già mangiato, dunque ho ancora fame, altrimenti faccio un caffè, neanche mangiare di più. B. Ho già mangiato, anche se ho ancora fame, infatti faccio un caffè, quindi mangiare di più. Or C. Ho già mangiato, comunque ho ancora fame, allora faccio un caffè invece di mangiare di più. Okay, so letter C was the correct answer. Comunque means however, allora means so or then, and invece di means instead of. So it would read, ho già mangiato, comunque ho ancora fame, allora faccio un caffè invece di mangiare di più. And that means I already ate, however, I'm still hungry, so I'll make a coffee instead of eating more. And number 5. Which of the following logical connectors could you use in this sentence? Fa freddo oggi, blank. Mi metto un cappotto. It's cold today, blank. I'll wear a coat. Choose all answers that apply. A. Quindi. B. Allora. C. Così. Or D. Dunque. Okay, so these are all correct. These can all work in this sentence. Quindi, meaning therefore. Allora, meaning so or then. Così, meaning so. And dunque, meaning so, thus, or therefore. All right, so how did you do? If there were any that you got wrong, just go ahead and rewatch the video if you want to retake the quiz. Otherwise, you can just reread over the correct answers here. You can just pause the video if you'd like. Okay. All right, perfect. Great job.